Hi, I'm Dana Brownlee, President of Professionalism Matters. And today I'd like to give you a tool for effective collaboration. Now, collaboration sounds like a fairly simple concept. It's working together to achieve results. But the truth is that it can be pretty tricky. And let's face it, it can go horribly wrong. But one of the best techniques to set yourself or your team up for effective collaboration is developing a set of ground rules. I actually like to refer to them as house rules for the workplace. Remember back in college when you had your first apartment and your first roommate, and it was great in the beginning. Because after a few days or weeks, you realize that, hey, she's a night owl and I'm an early bird. Or she leaves tons of dishes in the sink overnight or has all these guests over unannounced. And it drove you crazy. So you finally decided to sit her down and come up with some house rules so you guys could preserve your friendship and actually enjoy living together. Well, workplace teams need to have that same sit down conversation to identify ground rules that work for them. So, here are 4 steps for developing ground rules that work, whether you're a team member or the team leader. Step 1, explain why ground rules are important. I usually say something like this: guys, I really appreciate everyone's participation on this team. Let's face it, we've all been on crazy, dysfunctional teams, and I don't want that to be this experience. Our success hinges on the ability to collaborate effectively, so it's worth it for us to take some time to figure out really how we want to work together. Then step 2, you want to give each person a pad and a marker, and then ask them to reflect on some of their best and worst team experiences. Then ask them to propose one ground rule that they think will help the team collaborate effectively. Step 3, collect those Post-its, and then you might get things like this. You're going to share them with the full group. Start and end meetings on time. Avoid the back and forth of email volleyball. Hey, how about this? No calls after 2 o'clock on Fridays. I love this because it reminds us that the ground rules shouldn't feel overly restrictive. They should instead reflect the personality of that particular group. In fact, I had a team years ago who had a ground rule that said all meetings longer than 2 hours must have food, meetings longer than 3 hours must have beer. So finally, step 4, take a vote on each ground rule, but only adopt the ones that everybody supports. The key to this process is making sure it's bottom up. If a leader or even a team member tries to shove the ground rules down the team's throat, it's not going to work. But when team members come together to develop their own ground rules, those are the ones that stick.